welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel is all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I'm here with my November cozy mystery wrap up. And wow, did I read some good books. I had quite a few 5-star reads. Now, my rating comes from my heart. I don't worry about, oh, did the author do this? Did they do that? Whether it's their I just rate on pure enjoyment. So keep that in mind. But I had so many 5-star reads. Oh gosh, was it a good month? Let's get right into it. We're talking my November wrap-ups for Cozy Mysteries in 3, 2, 1, go! I'm going to be doing this in a couple videos because I just love it so much. My new shirt, it says Cozy Reader Book Society, and look at the picture on this. Oh my gosh, it is my new favorite thing in the world. Cozy Books Corner Box sent me this, and I can't thank them enough. Oh my gosh. So Cozy Books Corner Box, if you haven't seen videos before of them, I've done some unboxings. They have a Cozy Mystery subscription box, and they have a True Crime box. For right now, if they have a one-time holiday mystery box, and then also if you subscribe to their year of Cozy Mysteries, you will get a free ornament. They also, let me say this before I get to the other part, they also have a line of t-shirts and sweatshirts, obviously. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. They've also sent me a holiday shirt. So that's in another video if you want to check that one out. When you have all your goodies in the basket for you and your reader in your life, because trust me, if you have a book lover in your life, they are going to love this. Make sure that when you get to checking out that you put in the discount code Tiffany5 and you will get $5 off 25 or more, saving you some money. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see more of their stuff. It's just, they've just been absolutely amazing. And I can't stress how much I love this shirt. I can't say enough about them. They have the greatest stuff in their box. It's so well thought out. Their shirts and clothing have all been amazing. Go check out those videos and go check out their website, Cozy Books Corner Box. Now, here we go. Let's get right into it. We're talking about my November wrap up. The first book that I finished was the second book in the Jules Keene Glamping Cozy Mystery series. This is by Heather Weidner. The book is called Film Crews and Rendevous. I've met Heather multiple times at Malice, and she is just the sweetest, and I loved this so much. I am going to put this series on my SAS list. It is so fantastic. Our main character, Jules, she owns a glamping resort. So I think that's the way I would have to camp. I don't consider myself like bougie, but I'm also not laying on the ground where bugs are. And I just don't even think I could lay on the ground with my back anyways. But I'm just saying, like, and the whole idea of maybe there's showers, maybe there's not, not for me either. So I'm thinking that glamping is my thing. I'm claiming it right now. So I was very intrigued to read a glamping cozy, and I absolutely love it. Okay, this one in particular was so much fun because there is a soap opera that's coming to the glamping resort, and the head writer is just atrocious. Everything is not good enough for her, you know, that mentality and entitlement and stuff. And well, she ends up and Jules is going to figure out what's going on because it doesn't look good because it happened at her resort. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. 5 huge cups of coffee. It was so much fun because I told you it was a soap opera, but like the stuff going on outside of the actual show with all of the people that work on the show was just as soapy as the dialogue in the show, which I thought was really, really fun. It was done so well. I absolutely loved it. I will be putting that series on my SAS list. Next up, I finished number 2 in the Shake Shop series, A Sprinkle in Time. This is by Dana Mentink, and I'm so excited. I just filmed the part 2 of Cozy Mystery releases for December 2024, and there's a new one of the Shake Shop, which was very exciting to see. In this one, our main character is Trinidad, and it is fall, and there's going to be a festival in Upper Sprocket, Oregon, and Trinidad's grandfather is in town. I love his character. Papa Luis is amazing. He's so supportive and just, he's just what I think of as like the perfect grand. I just love him so much. And he opens up his trunk and bam, there's a body. First, we don't know who the body is, where it came from, clearly, or anything about it. And Trinidad's like, oh, this could be very, very bad, because she's going to be interviewed for a magazine coming up, and that doesn't look good, right? The other thing is, this series is really interesting because our main character was married to a man who was a polygamist. So he had multiple wives that nobody, I guess, I don't know if it's considered that if they don't know about each other. He was married to multiple women. And they formed like this kinship. And I love the relationship. I think it's so interesting. And I love to see that they didn't go at each other's throats, but instead held the person accountable who was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. And I absolutely love this series. Loved this one. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. Next up, I read number 4 in the Deep Dish Pizza Cozy Mystery Series by Mindy Quigley. I love this series. It is Sleepin' Heavenly Pizza. I give this one 5 cups of coffee too. I am killing it this month so far. So this series is so much fun. It features Delilah. And Delilah owns a fancy gourmet pizzeria in Geneva Bay, Wisconsin, which is like this really touristy town that's also known to be a like historical mob hideaway, which I love that aspect of it. I think it is so cool. The detective in this series is actually the grandson or great-grandson of Al Capone, which I think is really cool. And I just love those little tidbits. So the cat in this, by the way, his name is Butterball. He is fantastic. In this one, because they're in a tourist town, there are always going to be festivals and fairs and events going on. They're having a snow sculpting contest. And I had to think about what it was. Snow sculpting contest. And Delilah's sister is unexpectedly coming into town. She has not been back in forever. She doesn't really keep in contact with Delilah, doesn't really want much to do with anybody. And she didn't even tell her she was coming. And okay, in the first book, I thought Delilah's character was a little hard to take. And there was just some personality quirks that I didn't think that that I didn't care for. I feel like they've gotten much better. I gave the first book 3 cups of coffee, particularly because of those quirks. Since then, I've given all the books 5. So I do feel like it's worked itself out. But I bring that up because if we thought Delilah was bad, her sister, wow, she is frosty like the snowman. Holy moly. She is cold, y'all. Cold. We do find out a little bit about their dynamic and why she feels the way she does and all this stuff. But yeah, she's a little standoffish, to say the least. And her husband had come into town too. And again, Delilah didn't know he was coming. And they are going to host a, I don't know how they say it, Christmas Hanukkah together. Christmas-ka? And the eve of the snow sculpting contest. And a frozen corpse ends up at the party. And so Delilah is going to figure out what's going on. And it seems like there may be some ties to Delilah's sister's husband. Really good. 5 cups of coffee. I probably went all over the place with that explanation, but I'm telling you, it's good. Next up, I read number 36 in the Campers and Criminals series. It was called Bonfires, Backpacks, and Brawls. This is, of course, by Tonya Kappes. Our main character in this is Mae West. No relation. She, in the first book, she doesn't inherit. I say that wrong. So she was married to a entrepreneur. He was arrested on some white collar crime charges, and they seized all of his assets and all of her assets, except for this campground in Normal, Kentucky, where nothing's normal. And it's very run down, and she takes it and makes it to what it is today. And 36 books later, it is absolutely incredible. There's so much community in this series. There's a group of ladies that call themselves the Laundry Club ladies. The campground has like nightly potlucks. It's just so cozy. I absolutely love it. I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Death at the Dinner Party. This is the third book in the Secret Bookcase Cozy Mystery series. This is by Ellie Alexander, and this was my favorite in the series, and I've given every one in this series 5 stars. But this was a murder mystery dinner. So yeah, of course, I loved it so much. Our main character is Annie, and Annie was a criminology major. And her and her best friend, I think her best friend's name was Scarlett, were all set to start a private investigation firm when they graduate. And like on very close, might even been the eve of their graduation, Scarlett is murdered. And so Annie is now working at a bookstore. She just didn't want anything to do with the criminology field after what happened with Scarlett. And she is working at this amazing bookstore, and she does these events. And her friend Penny had said that they were trying to fix up this old farmhouse and they didn't have the funds. And she's like, well, maybe we can host something and raise some money. So they decided to host this murder mystery dinner, and it is amazing. Oh my gosh. I love anything like that. So I was hooked from the start. Well, there is a guy that comes to the dinner and he is just obnoxious. He is obnoxious from the day, from the minute that he gets there, even before the murder mystery starts. And it seems like everybody kind of knew that that's the way he is all the time. And he ends up flopping down face first into his meal, and you can guess it. And so Annie's going to figure out what is going on. Loved it. Can't say enough about it. Anything when you have a murder mystery dinner and you have lots of cozy details, I am your reader for that. Next up, I read Misfortune Cookie. This is the 9th book in the Noodle Shop series by Vivien Chien. I'm actually reading number 10 right now. And this one was so much fun because Lana, our main character, and her sister, which was very interesting, go on a trip together. So what actually happens is Lana's mother signs her up for a restaurant convention, and her sister, what is her sister's name? Anna Mae. I was going to say Anna Marie. Anna Mae has, for the last few books had some trouble with significant other in her life, and she decides that getting out of Dodge with Lana would get her away from that situation. But Lana and her are like oil and water. I mean, they butt heads a lot. So it was really interesting. But I love when cozy mysteries take their main characters out of their regular routine setting. I know it means that we won't see some of the beloved characters we normally see, but I just think it's really interesting to see the characters in another dynamic. And in this case, it was really fun because we got to meet another family member, which was Lana and Anna's aunt, Mom's sister. And Mom is so like prim and proper. It was so fun to see her fun-loving, kind of free-spirited sister. I absolutely love this one. So what happens is they're at this convention. They go, their aunt also gets them tickets to this like big Swalla Gala dinner, and someone there ends up dead. And of course, Lana is going to figure out what is going on. I loved it. I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read another Campers and Criminals, number 37. I was trying to catch up, and it is Fireworks, Freedom, and Felonies. This is, of course, by Tonya Kappes. This one takes place during the 4th of July, and wow, the murder reveal was quite startling to me. The victim is a needlepoint person, knitting and kind of all the kind of crafts, and they are at a 4th of July celebration, and the body is found, and I was really... I don't know. I was startled by it. I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. I thought it was really fun. All the 4th of July festivities was just so cozy and great. Of course, we have the Laundry Club ladies and the normal gang. And I can't say enough about this series, but I do talk about it a lot. So it was wonderful. Next up, I read number 2 in the Coffee Lovers Cozy Mystery series by Tara Lush, called Brew Corpse right here. This is so much fun. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. And this features Lana or Lana. I can't remember how she says her name. She owns Purgatory. And what a great name for a coffee shop. Purgatory. I absolutely love it. And there is a hot yoga studio right next door. And that studio had a really fun name too. Let me see what the name was. I think I wrote it down because I thought it was funny. Dante's Inferno. I'm sorry. I think that's funny because the name of the town that they live in is Devil's Beach. So to have a coffee shop named Purgatory and then a hot yoga studio named Dante's Inferno, I see what you did there. I love it. I love a good theme. The owner of the hot yoga studio ends up dead. And of course, Lana's going to figure out what's going on. This series has so many coffee details, but what I really, really love about this series the most is her dad. He's like this hippie, free-spirited character, and every book, it's only book 2. So book 1 and book 2 had me cackling at some of his antics. I love him, and I'm glad he's not my dad, but I thought he was absolutely hilarious. 5 cups of coffee. Next up, I read number 7 in the Bread Shop Cozy Mystery Series, A Murder You'll Regret. This is by Winnie Archer. I gave this 5 huge cups of coffee. It is Christmas themed, and our main character, Ivy, she has been hired as a freelance photographer to take pictures at a Dickens feast. And oh my goodness, y'all, I love this theme so much. I love this synopsis so much, this plot so much. We have all the main classic Dickens characters involved, and this tabloid journalist who everybody hates ends up dead. And of course, our main character is going to figure out what's going on because the host of this Dickens festival is like this really like A-list celebrity film star, Eliza Fox, and she is the number 1 suspect. And so our main character, Ivy, our gal Ivy, is like, I gotta figure out what is going on so I can save this Dickens festival, take these pictures. And it was fabulous. I loved it so, so much. Next up, I read number 15 in the Library Lovers Cozy Mystery Series, A Merry Little Murder Plot. This is by Jen McKinley. I gave this one 3 cups of coffee. There is a lot of twists and turns in this one. Lindsay, the library director, hires an author to come, and what do they call it? They call it a writer's residence at the library. And they bring in this famous writer, and the volunteer library organization just had a turnover of presidents, and the new president wants all these books banned, including this writer in residence. We find out so many secrets and details. I really enjoyed this, but it wasn't my favorite in the series. Again, I gave it 3 cups of coffee. Can't wait for the next one. Next up, I read The Pepper Peach Murder right here. This is the first book in the Luscious Delights Cozy Mystery Series. This was on my 24 Star in 24. This is by Meg Benjamin. It is a jam and jelly making series, and I loved that part of it. I did end up giving the book 3.5 stars. I will continue this series. So I loved the jam and jelly making. If anybody knows of any jam and jelly making series, this is one of my favorite themes. So please put it in the comments below. There were so many details about her making jam and jelly, which I loved. There was farmers markets, all of those cozy details I appreciated so much, and it was so much fun. The reason that I rated it a little bit lower is because I felt like the author purposefully was trying to like say things and do things to push the bounds of what's allowed in a cozy, but it didn't feel natural. So as an example, her and her new boyfriend were clearly spending the night together. We can just allude that as adults, what they might be doing, but I felt like she every time would make sure that she pushed the envelope by saying like that they were going to have sex. And you just don't see that in cozies, but it didn't feel natural to have to say that. Like we could understand that that was what was going to happen. So I felt like her doing that was more about her wanting to be like, look what I'm including in a cozy, than it feeling natural. Just my opinion. I will read the second one. Next up, I read Slay It With Flowers. This is the second book in the Flower Shop series by Kate Collins. I really, really enjoy this. I think I gave it 4.5 cups of coffee. So our main character is Abby. She, of course, owns a flower shop. And in this one, she is trying to do flowers for her cousin. I think her cousin's name is Jillian's wedding. Now, the thing you need to know about Jillian is apparently she gets engaged about once a year, and it never ends up resulting in a wedding. So Abby's like, oh boy, here we go. But things have went further than they ever went. So Abby's like, okay, well, maybe it's going to happen. And then problems happen because a groomsman goes missing and another person in the wedding party ends up dead. So, of course, Abby is trying to do the flowers, keep her cousin who is too hysterics. I mean, granted, if you had someone in your wedding party or even just a friend go missing and then another one is dead, you're going to be, worked up. But she seemed to be prone to hysterics about anything and everything. So Abby's trying to, keep her calm, do the flowers, and figure out what was going on. Absolutely loved it. That is my last read for this month. I had a great month of reading. I would love to know what your favorite of the month was. Give me a big thumbs up for this video. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody.